Hello and welcome to this very special episode of Frankly Speaking. And joining me tonight is Dr. Surjit Bhalla, India's Executive Director in the International Monetary Fund, looking after not just India but also Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and Bhutan. Thank you for joining us on Frankly Speaking, Dr. Surjit Bhalla. Even as India is experiencing the worst ever phase of COVID-19 since the epidemic broke out last year, sometime in February, March. We are in the throes of a second wave that has been much worse than the first wave that India has experienced. The question many in India are asking, was there not enough research and forecasting models that were available to understand and project the kind of impact this second wave would have had on India? Has this taken us completely by surprise in the way it's unfolded?
Yes. To the first question, basically what should be communicated and what is a fact is that this second wave has taken the world by surprise. We are not alone in being taken by surprise. The maximum amount of daily cases in the second wave is higher than the maximum amount all of last year in several 40, 50 countries around the world. So the question is a very legitimate one. What do we know about the causes of the second wave? A lot of research is going on now in terms of genome sequencing, etc. And could we have been better prepared? There is no question, looking at hindsight, that we should have been better prepared. But the question is whether there was information available at the time before the crisis. And as you know, the cases in India had really collapsed, and so much so that in a research paper that I did, I said that maybe we are reaching herd immunity. So that is where we were 3 months ago, and there wasn't anybody challenging that view that maybe we had. Now, the same story about whether the crisis was over was being played out in other countries, developed countries and developing countries. As you notice, France went into a lockdown. Japan just went into a lockdown last night. This is a worldwide phenomenon like the first one. And we should all make efforts to find out first what has happened. Actually, that's not the first. The good news this year compared to the second wave, compared to the first wave, is that we have vaccines. And I think that's where the maximum stress should be. We'll worry about the identification of causes and what happens and what determines what. But right now, I think the utmost attention around the world should be on the provision and of vaccines and jabbing. That is the number one priority. And in addition to that, or related to that, is the fact that there are several people, thousands, you said, 300,000 in a day and in a million in a week. Many of them are seriously ill. You know the whole story about the lack of oxygen, lack of treatment, lack of hospital beds. So this is a crisis that we certainly have never seen before of this magnitude. And so I think we have to move on two major fronts. First, to take care, obviously, of those who are sick and ill and try and prevent the further contagion of this virus. And second, and very much related to it, on which I would think the government should put the utmost emphasis after the emphasis on saving lives, is vaccination.